One of the top reasons that homes don't sell is that sellers make it difficult for buyers to see their house. The easiest way to let somebody see your house is to have the following kinds of showing instructions. The house is vacant. Go and show. No appointment needed. Lockbox on the door. You'd be surprised how common this actually is. Now, if you're living in your house, you probably can't accommodate these kinds of showing instructions, but you can make it possible for buyers to see your house every day of the week from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., maybe 1 or 2 hours notice at the most. This way, buyers get an opportunity to see the house on a schedule that works for them. Here are some examples of showing instructions that make it difficult for a buyer to see your house. Appointment only lister. This means that you need to make the appointment with the listing agent. Now, you might be surprised, or maybe you won't be, how difficult it can be to reach some agents to book the appointment. 24 hours notice. This might not seem like a lot, but when a buyer sees a house, they want to go see it right away because they know the market around here moves fast and that house might be gone tomorrow. And if they're going to try to see multiple properties at a time and you're asking for 24 hours notice, they may go see other houses and never actually even see yours. Listing agent must accompany. Now, for some houses, it may be important to have the listing agent there, but for a lot of houses, it can just make the appointment feel very stiff. The buyer doesn't feel comfortable walking around asking questions or talking about things they like and don't like about the house. And sometimes the listing agent can be very overwhelming and talks the entire time about the things that they want the person to look at when they don't even know whether or not the buyer's even interested in those features. No lockbox on the house. Waiting for another person who has the key just adds another constraint to scheduling, and if people's schedules don't line up, the showing appointment doesn't happen. Sometimes I've actually scheduled these and the person with the key doesn't come at all. A lot of agents use online showing instructions or online showing booking or a call service so that you can schedule the appointment either online or with this call center. This is a great way to get people into your house. So obviously not having these makes it that much harder for buyers to come and see your house. Now think a buyer's agent is scheduling multiple appointments for the same client at the same time. So if everybody else is getting back to them quickly, then they can be on the schedule, and if it's really difficult to track somebody else down, they may not make it in that rotation, especially if they don't have a lot of heads up before they're looking to book the appointments. Calling a call center is a really easy way of reaching someone because they literally have people waiting for your phone call, unlike an agent, which could be at another appointment with a client or doing something else that is legitimate business, but still means that you can't get a hold of them to book the appointment. Now, of course, there are some times where it makes sense to increase restrictions on your showing times. For example, it could be a new construction house and there could be safety issues, and that's why someone needs to accompany you. Or it could be a house where you're having contractors in the house and you don't want buyers coming in at the same time that the crews are there and it's loud and it's dirty. So there can be things like that that give you a reason why you shouldn't have people in your house at certain times. You might also need 2 hours notice because you have a dog in the house that's maybe not friendly with strangers, or you just don't want to have the dog there for the showing appointment, and you need time to get home from wherever you are to get the dog out before the appointment. These are some of the options that you may have when you're restricting your showing appointments, but keep in mind the harder you make it for a buyer to see the house, the less buyers will come and see your house, and that means there's less opportunities for you to sell it. So keep these things in mind when you're thinking through what your showing instructions are going to look like. You may have heard from your realtor that you need to stop thinking about this house as your house. And one of the reasons is that sometimes we don't want to make buyers' lives as easy as we want our lives to be because it's our home and they need to work around our schedule. But that's not what this is about right now. Yes, this is your house still, and yes, they do need to try to work around your schedule to some degree, but just remember this: the harder you make it for buyers to see your house, the less people are going to come in and the slower it's going to be until you sell. If you spend too much time on the market, you could actually get less money for your house, or you could expire and not sell at all. So keep these things in mind. I hope this has been helpful.